Good morning, class. Today, I will go in depth into our unit, specifically its website. First of all, our unit summary. In this unit, you will learn about the French Revolution, the conditions in the preceding Ancien regime which provided the spark for the revolution, the changes the revolution brought to France, and what became the revolution. We will go over the enlightened philosophers such as Voltaire and Rousseau, whose ideas on society and freedom provide the framework for the Declaration of the Rights of Man, the French Constitution, and Bill of Rights. By going all over this, it's my hope that you will understand why the world of today is as it is. First off, our course content standard. Number 1. Students recognize the complexity of historical causes and effects, including the limitations on determining cause and effect. Number 2. Students compare the present with the past, evaluating the consequences of past events and decisions, and determining the lessons that were learned. And lastly, number 3, students interpret past events and issues within the context in which an event unfolds rather than solely in terms of present-day norms and values. After all, you cannot judge the people of yesterday by the standards of today. Now, this is a social studies class intended for people in the 10th grade. And here are some questions I want you to think about while we're in this class. Number 1. What was so revolutionary about the French Revolution compared to earlier revolutions such as the American Revolutionary War or the British Glorious Revolution? Number 2. How did the aims and methods of the French revolutionaries change as the revolution progressed? Number 3. How strong was the French class system personified in the States before the revolution swept them away? And here are 3 things I want you to all understand by the end of this unit. Number 1. Students will be able to differentiate the impact the French Revolution had on society in comparison to other revolutions in history. Number 2. Students will single out how Enlightenment ideals influence the Declaration of the Rights of Man. And lastly, number 3. Students understand how political clubs would direct the revolution. And here are just some big unit revolutionary concepts I want you just to think about throughout the whole thing, as these are what forms the modern French state. First concept, liberty. In the case of the French Revolution, liberty means freedom from things. Things in this case are the revolution were the tyrannical grip of the French monarchy, which could detain people at its leisure and do with them as it wished. It was also freedom from censorship. The press in France during the monarchy was strictly controlled to ensure either events weren't published or were written about in a positive light. It also means freedom from torture. France had a multitude of horrific forms of torture which dated back to the Dark Ages. All of these things would be abolished by the early stages of the revolution. The next key concept of France is equality, the ending of privileges earned through birth and not merit. The French Revolution would sweep away France's class system by law, and by later execution. The nobles would either flee to neighboring countries or fall prey to the national razor, aka the guillotine. And the last major concept is fraternity. A major idea that came from the revolution was fraternity, in other words, brotherhood. The belief was that the people of France should come together and treat each other as a family. This tied with equality across they treat everyone the same. Think of it as an early form of nationalism, which replaced the king and subject dichotomy. And here are just some things you might want to think about if you lived in the French Revolution. To what lengths would you go to achieve freedom and equality? Could the revolution have achieved their goals without resorting to terror? Now, this is a class, so we'll have to evaluate how you do and give you a grade, and there are a variety of ways for me to do so. Starting off, though, during the first week of class, you will be expected to take a little quiz I've set up for you. Don't worry, it's easy, and it's not really meant to give you a grade. It's more so I can see how much you already know about the revolution, which you've obtained from previous classes. However, I will see if you are paying attention to a variety of ways during the school year. First of all, my favorite way of testing people is a class packet. A class packet is basically a collection of all your work, specifically the Cornell notes you're meant to be doing to go along with your reading, and the normal notes you just take in class. I need to make sure you people are paying attention and not just goofing around. There will also be a variety of small take-home quizzes, but to be honest, those are just to see if you're on task. At the end of the unit, I will collect your work and then score you on them, so please do your best, because these will determine your grade. Now, for your final assignment, I will give you a 10-slide PowerPoint, and of course, here are the instructions you're supposed to do. In your PowerPoint, you should give the lead up to the revolution, the key events of the revolution, the impact the revolution had on society, how the revolution impacts society you today. I would make sure you understand how society changed then, and how the changes affect the life you live in today, because without this, it is unlikely the world will be as it was. And here's just the quiz I have up here, and here's the PowerPoint rubric. It's basically just the common things you should expect in a rubric. I want the number of slides I suggested, I want you to speak orally, and I want you to go over your material so it looks nice. No big deal. And here are a variety of things we'll do in class. Here specifically is one of the unit lectures you will go over in class. I will make these and I will show them to you. So this basically underlines the intent of the presentation and what I want you to get off from this. This shows images of the glorious revolution, and here just shows some information on the monarchs of the time and those who replaced him and its impact on British society. This will go on for the various revolutions, such as the American Revolution. Well, you should already know about the American Revolution from your earlier classes, and to the French Revolution, which we'll go over here. To go along with this, I have an assignment for you to do. Basically, just make sure you take care. Everything you need to know about the assignment, you will learn from this presentation, so I hope you pay attention. And if not, you can always come back here to look at it later. Now, we will also be making a timeline in this class. This is just meant to be a project for you and you alone. This will be done online, and basically it's meant to break down the French Revolution into a linear timeline filled of what you think are important events. Make sure to add pictures and the dates, because you will be scored on its completeness. And here's the last web exercise I have on the website. The Revolution Political Clubs. Political clubs are basically like the polarities we know of today in American society. I just want you to answer these questions in 3 to 5 sentences each. But don't worry, I provide links to information you might need. So if you don't know something, you just click on it, and you can access it. I did this to make sure this is as painless as possible to you. Now here are some unit resources. Throughout the unit, you'll have to answer several questions, and you can't exactly get information from the book. I've provided a series of helpful links to information you might use, such as information about the Queen, how the grain situation in France escalated problems, and how people were dissatisfied with the current way things were run. And here's the political factors all over again, in case you'd rather just click on this instead of looking for other links. Oh, and here are 2 quizzes I think you want to take before you take our exams, as they will test you on things that will be on there, be a great help to helping you study. And here are 2 little video links, in case you'd rather learn through videos than reading. The first one is a short 9-minute video that goes in things over general, and the next one is about a 2-hour documentary which goes highly in depth of the French Revolution. Will be seen in class, so you may or may not want to watch this ahead of time. And here's my digital unit plan. Basically, all information in this video is here, but I'm recording this video just in case you're visual learners and auditory ones. So here it is. It's basically just the same thing I've gone over, just in a written form. Oh, and here are the links you might want to use for the class. But moving on from that, here is my class website. Basically, this class is more than just the French Revolution, and here's the website as a whole. So basically, everything about this class you will need to learn, from our policies to the course calendar and when assignments are due, are just right here for you to access. So, going back to home. I hope you will learn a lot from this unit, and I hope you memorize it, because the French Revolution is an important part of history. It's completely shook up European society, and and altered the direction of mankind. It's unlikely the world will be full of democracies as it is now without the French Revolution. So I hope you take this into heart. This is important, and you will have to learn about this if you're going to continue in history.